fellow Tiger Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we are back in T-62A Tier 10 Soviet medium tank. And remember, in the last game we talked about control of the center of the map, and I wanted to kind of expand on that topic in this game because this game is a perfect example as to how to control middle of the map, even though I'm not a light tank. Having said that, we do have a light tank on our team, and there's also a light tank on the opposing team. In this game, we're going to focus on the center of the map. And we're going to discuss some of the things that I do during the game as well, because I think they're vital in any type of a gameplay. So, usually on map steps, I really like the east side of the map. So you see me progressing here first. And when playing Russian tanks, I like to stay low. Peek up just to spot, to see if we can spot anybody, but we're going to try to stay low for the most part. Actually, in any tank you want to stay low, but Russian tanks are played really well on the lower ground because first of all, they're not very tall tanks, and usually they have good turret armor and no gun depression, so you need to kind of find your micro position in between peaks and valleys and be able to stay low in these tanks. Now, in this situation, because our light tank is going really deep and he's not spotting anything, I'm taking advantage of that situation. I'm taking advantage of our light tank providing intel to me at this point and saying, well, there's really nobody here, so I can move up quite quickly, quite far into this position here. And those rocks on the south side of the map are fantastic to provide some cover so that you're not fully exposed. Now, our light tank spotted the grill, so we're going to find ourselves a position here, close to that rock, and we're going to see if we can put some shells into these guys that are in a J4 area. The Centurion will be passing by any moment here. Can we put a shell into him? Yes, we can, but we get spotted here, and we're going to use that rock to the right of us to best of our abilities. Now, this position is not the greatest, to be honest, because if that Centurion actually climbed up the ridgeline at K5, he has shots into me here, into this position. So be mindful of that. But I'm hoping that my team will provide some firepower here and he won't be able to peek and shoot me. But because I was ready to side scrape here in case he was paying attention to me, I went too far behind the rock and someone from the other side of the map was able to put a shell into me. So I have to be mindful of that. I took a mental note of that, and yeah, we're gonna pay attention and we're gonna make sure that we're not overexposing our tank when we're spotted. So by controlling middle map, what am I talking about? As you can see, I'm not progressing with my team right now. What I'm looking for is shots in the middle, because sometimes in games like this, patience is the key. As you can see, this chieftain decided to go in the middle, overexpose, and what I'll be able to do is just put shells into him. Now, one thing that I probably should have done here is track him and then, you know, drain down his HP. But I decided to go for damage, and, you know, most often than not, I decide to go for damage anyway, because in this game nowadays, you shoot for tracks. You don't know. Sometimes you should be tracking tanks and you're not tracking tanks. Sometimes you should be penning tanks through tracks and you're not penning tanks through tracks. So weird shit happens, to be honest. But as you see here, I have shots from across the map and I'm putting shells into these guys. Once I'm spotted, I'm basically hiding behind a rock, and that's what we're gonna do. Now, we were pretty much free to put these shells all the way across the map, but the opposition's heavy tank started coming down the middle at F4, and he's the one spotting me right now, and I'm targeted, so I have to be mindful of that. We're gonna try to lose our sixth sense over here, and I'm gonna ping my team and I'm gonna tell them, look, there's a dude coming through the middle. You gotta be paying attention to that. We have a lot of tanks on the south right now, but they're not really paying attention to the middle of the map, and I really need them to do so right now. But we're just gonna poke and shoot these guys that are spotted, that are poking out, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. They're not expecting us to be putting shells from this position here, so the shitbarn has no clue who's shooting him. But now I have no more shots. We're gonna be still patient here. The light tank shows up right now, so we should be able to put a shell into him, and that's what we're gonna do right there. And again, we're gonna hide. Taking that light tank would be crucial because obviously eyes for the opposition. You want to take that. Oh, he got taken out anyway. Awesome. Good shot over there by the object 268. So now it gives us freedom to poke out a little bit further, but yet we still spotted. But this time it was my poor situational awareness. There's Red's heavy tank at H5 who's spotting me right now, so we're gonna have to take him out of the game. I don't know how my team is not taking care of him, but anyway, we're gonna shoot him down and take him out of the game. Okay, what's the next step? Next step is to try and control the middle of the map. As you can see, we have quite a few TDs and a couple of heavies on top of the map. On the north side, we have quite a big contingent of tanks on the south side, but we have no one in the middle. And we really need to spot these TDs and heavies that are sitting on the 2 line. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to go through the middle. We're going to spot this shed barn. We also spotted this cran van. We're going to put a shell into the cran van. And now we're going to peek again in a split moment. This time we're going to go from left side of the rock to change our position in case they're actually looking at me right now. But we're not spotting anyone. So we're going to move further. Now, T-62A is great when it comes to those kind of engagements because 1v1, this tank is excellent with the rate of fire. My reload is, what, 4.7 seconds or something of that nature. So if I have to face these guys 1v1, I should be able to, hold my own. Anyway, this Death Star over here, we're going to try to put a shell into him. Yes, we do. We probably should have tracked him there, but we're going to get all of the spotting damage anyway because we're the ones spotted him. So I'm not really worried about that. And we're going to use this rock here to hide again and lose our 6th sense at the same time. But we're currently providing vision to our team, and that's the idea in this situation. Now we're going to progress further, and we're going to see if we can spot this cran van. So we're going to poke up here. We can't spot him really. So we're going to move a little bit further down towards the north side. As you can see, there's a heavy tank that joined me, our heavy tank that just joined me over here, which is great. I have extra protection in case this cran van decided to YOLO me here. I have him to help me out. So we're going to come up here, try to spot the cran van, and we do. And now we see this cran van pushing us. So I thought he was going to actually go after me, but then I guess he found another target and started shooting someone across the map. Unfortunately, he takes down our Death Star. But now I think he pretty much blew his load, so I should be able to put shells into him. Right here, I should have put a shell into him. I don't know why I didn't. Someone's shooting me from left side, and then I realized, oh shit, we pretty much lost the south side of the map. So all of my friendlies that were on the south side pretty much died. So Kranvan had 1 more shell in his chamber. Oh, 2 more shells. That was surprising. We're going to put a shell into him. And now we're going to get extra lucky because I should have died right here. But for whatever reason, the shit barn decides to shoot me in a track instead of shoot me in a turret. That was a stupid play by him. Or I don't know, maybe his shot missed. I have no idea. But anyway, so now it's 2 versus 6. And in situations like this, you would think the game is over, right? That we should be able to steamroll the opposition. And that is usually the case unless you run into a couple of good players. And in this situation, we are going to run into a couple of decent players, especially one. And at this point, I looked at my damage number, or my damage count, and I'm seeing 5.3k damage with 3,000 spotting or assisted damage. So that brings our total to, what, 8.3k right now? Which is already a really nice game for this tank. And I was thinking to myself, you know what, last thing I want to do is throw my tank away. If we could get a little bit of extra damage over here, maybe not spotting damage, but raw damage, maybe we can get it up to like 7k or something, which would be a spectacular game for this tank. So we're gonna let our friendlies go in first, and we're gonna kind of creep behind because we have only 476 HP, and last 2 tanks remaining is the Super Conqueror, who probably cannot one-shoot me. Let's see if we can hit him over here. Unfortunately, that shot doesn't go anywhere. Didn't show me too much of his tank, but there's also E100 who can definitely one-shoot me, so I gotta be really careful here. I'm gonna play it really cautious here. Now, those 2 guys got themselves in a really nice position where they can defend, but they're gonna run into crossfire from our team. If I don't go in too early, we should be able to... Basically, the plan is to let my friendlies go in first and let these guys engage my friendlies. Then what I will do is I will follow in and get the extra damage at the end of the game. That's what I was thinking anyway. So you're gonna see me chill here for a split moment. At the same time, I did realize that the Super Conqueror had 3 marks on his barrel. And looks like he's playing his tank really well. Right now he's paying attention to the grill. That's currently sitting at K7. And maybe I could have went in I use my turret armor only, use the dip in the ground in order to find myself nice micro position and engage him. But again, with his gun depression, I'm not going to be able to really hurt him as much. Maybe it would be easier to go on the other side and deal with the E100. But at this point it was too late. Our T-57's already arrived on the scene. RTDs are already here as well. So I'm just going to wait it out. I'm going to wait for this T-95 to engage, and then first step is to take out this E100. Unfortunately, Super Conqueror started paying attention to me. And you know what? He's done the right thing because he's still trying to win a game, believe it or not. And I admire guys like that. T-95 engaged him, so I'm going to go in. Going to try to put a shot into his bottom plate, but that doesn't come off. I don't know what the hell happened. I tracked him instead. From this distance, I should be able to easily put a shell into his bottom plate, but the game said no. Anyway, Super Conqueror gets taken out by, I think, Grill at the end. I wasn't paying attention, but let's take a look at the end plates and see how we did here. So Tier 8s finished 1 and 2. They had decent games, but we had a very, very good game in T-62A. We ended up with 5.4k raw damage and 3000 assisted damage, Class 1 Mastery Badge, Confederate Medal. We finished 3rd on the team with 1464 base XP, which is quite surprising because for almost 9k combined damage I should be able to get higher base XP, but I guess people are putting good games in this tank. Happens to me more often than not for whatever reason. Performance report, we fired 22 shells, we had 18 penetrations and 5 critical hits, but what this game shows is how important middle of the map is, and being able to protect middle of the map is key when trying to win the game. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit. Check it out.